And they want now to do the interiors of their house, they want now to build furniture. So they were motivated to work. Secondly, the children were not around because they were in school. So you motivate also the children to go to school. Because if people are living and thinking that they are not human beings, then they have no motivation to send their children to school or for the men particularly to work. So again, this is also changing mindsets.
Okay. We have room for one more question. Oh yes, Dr. Roberts.
Mr. Relago, I first of all join others in congratulating you in carrying out your vocation. I asked the question that you speak to how government is involved, how education is involved, and I want to know how is the church involved and bringing faith back to people who maybe have lost faith as they now have the opportunity to have food, as they have the opportunity to have security, as they have the opportunity for shelter. How is the church connected in helping them to reestablish their faith?
Very good question. My dream is before I die, I want to see the Philippines as the first Catholic country that will rise from poverty and corruption. And it is not for me waiting for the priest or for the religious, to do it, but it is for me as a Catholic to actually practice what is preached to me, because the church has not been remiss in its preaching role. It is simply my favor as a Catholic to practice what was taught to me in Catholic school, what was preached to me by the church. So again, we're working also with the church because they have a lot of land. We have built, but they also have catechists who are informal settlers. So we built also homes in Iloilo City, in land that was donated by the Archdiocese. We built also homes for communities in Camarines Sur, land donated by in Ocampo, and the homes were donated by St. Francis Parish in San Jose, California. So we're getting now rich parishes abroad, helping poor parishes here in the Philippines. About 5 years ago, we had a very strong contingent that came from CPAC, from Lourdes Parish in CPAC, Zurich. They came here because they helped us in several provinces in not only building houses but also in our nutrition program. So we realized that a lot of our religious are involved, particularly in schools, and it is the Catholic schools that are helping us a lot. We work with the RBM sisters, the Assumption sisters, we work with Ateneo, we now work with the Lasal Brothers. So I think it is really more of the religious rather than the diocesan, that are of great help to us, particularly Catholic schools, because they also have very successful graduates. We're just encouraging them wherever they are in the world to go back. If they're successful, go back to the town, to the remote areas where they come from, and help improve the lives of their people. So again, it's calling on all the faithful wherever they are in the world to just help us build a nation that really honors God, and also give us pride as Catholics that this will become a very prosperous Catholic country simply because we practice brotherly love.
Did I see one student raise his hand? Okay. Yes, sir, you please.
Sirs, good morning. I'm Bob Estepana, the Ateneo-GK University. The question is for all the panelists. It's actually in connection to the speech that, to the keynote lecture rather of Dr. Escudero yesterday. Also in connection to the previous question, I was hoping to ask, since the main factor of GK-Ateneo partnerships that is most relevant to Jesuit schools and their current strategy of rethinking their paradigms of teaching is the multi-sectoral approach that is the partnerships. Would it be also recommendable that an interdisciplinary approach be integrated along with that act of collaboration?
What do you mean by interdisciplinary?
Sir, by interdisciplinary, one of the biggest trends we have today is that many disciplines such as philosophy, sociology, anthropology, and economics are being integrated along with current methods of business teaching. As you can see with the current curriculum of most management students today in the Ateneo. That interdisciplinary approach is being used to create a holistic approach for students to collaborate with the whole world around them so that they know how to approach, for example, politicians or when they need a good policy that could boost social entrepreneurship.
Okay. Anybody care to Rico? Yeah, Rico was here yesterday, but I guess the others will probably not.
Well, just to respond to the point of multidisciplinary approaches, perhaps the best answer is an example of I mentioned earlier the existence of a group that is putting together a curriculum in social entrepreneurship. We pay particular attention to that. So the team that's putting it together includes Mark and Frank. Mark's background is philosophy. We have in the team faculty who have a business background but are actually teaching the humanities. We have people from management, people from the field of social development. So we're putting together one course curriculum, and to do it, we have brought together 12 heads, 12 people, to sit around the table and to continually discuss and debate, taking with them their different perspectives, with the view of building one course that not only accommodates all of those perspectives, but brings them together in a very creative and hopefully very effective way. And we were so enamored with the process that we're now considering how else to do this in the rest of the university, so that you can bring people from different disciplines around one table, addressing one issue from their various perspectives. We don't know exactly where it will take us. It's a fairly lengthy process, but we found that the process itself is very enriching, to the point that two people who were in that 12-man panel and working with us, who are already teaching social enterprise courses, are revamping their entire course from the initial 3-day event where we locked ourselves in a room and basically said nobody gets out until we thresh out all of the issues that come from our varying perspectives. So there's a lot of promise there. I'm sure there are other initiatives of a similar vein that are going on across the university, but you're absolutely right. We've got to go in that direction. But we're taking the steps very keenly and very enthusiastically that will take us there.
Okay. I wanted to accommodate the gentleman. That you're the last question there.
Okay, thank you, sirs.
I'm Goto Eding at Ateneo-GK University. The 3 Jesuit schools in Mindanao is faced with a great problem, and I think a challenge. And we are aware of the conflict in Mindanao. And with Mr. Antonio Manoloto, we are so happy and we appreciate for that vision to be able to help the Filipino people and the country doing this GK-Ateneo project. And you have gone and penetrated, even sleeping or being with the Commander Bawang, in Patikulo Island, and that's a horrible place for us. But this is a curious question I have. We are going back to a peace negotiating panel where they will get to talk about how you're going to solve the problem in Mindanao. So if you were asked a piece of advice, what would be your opinion? How do you look at, or what would be the kind of a solution able to reach the peace and development in the place in Mindanao?